Wilson Manyoma. Corona.
Hello, hello. Ladies and gentlemen, the day we've all been waiting for. We have arrived. It's election day.
Election day. And I know there's nothing weird that you're noticing. There's nothing strange.
Nothing strange going on here.
But it is, what's today? November 5th.
November 5th.
November 5th. I hope everybody voted. I know we make jokes. If you looked at the Instagram, we're making jokes, but it's really important. Everybody needs to get out there and vote. You need to, even if your opinion is wrong, you still got to go out there and make it known.
Yeah, 100%.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's your right. It's your right. It's your responsibility. Go out there and make a decision. And honestly, who knows? You might be the difference.
Might be. And shout out to Peanut the Squirrel, R.I.P.
R.I.P. Peanut.
R.I.P.
Jesus Christ.
R.I.P.
I guess we're getting right into it.
Nah, I just wanted to start the episode by saying that. We'll catch you guys up on what we're referring to, but so what's going on? Anybody get knocked out at the polls where you voted?
No, I will say one thing. Jesus Christ. I've never heard a phone hit the ground harder than that. I'm pretty sure
It wasn't my phone. It was one of your electronics.
Okay, perfect. So the polls by me, it's funny because I never thought about this, but I get there and like I'm analyzing people and I'm just like, yep, you're wearing sweatpants. It's past 2 p.m. You're voting for Kambala. No, all right. No, whatever. No big deal. You know what I'm saying? And you see another guy. I seen another guy. He was wearing, he was like a painter, like a union painter. He was wearing all white, like a painter suit. And I was like, Psh, I know who you're voting for. Not as anonymous as you guys believe, right? No, it wasn't bad. I was in and out. I went during the day. I think I went like at 1 o'clock. Didn't take long at all. Super simple. They, I don't know. It's kind of like the same. I'm sure that this is exactly the way my parents voted, like back in the day. Like I don't think they whispered into a priest's ear or anything like that. Like I'm pretty sure. Like the process seemed very simple and kind of straightforward. There was this one chick sitting in the corner in like a pantsuit thing. She looked like somebody's lawyer, and she was just sitting there watching it all go down. And I was like, "Oh, you work with the feds." In my head, I was like, you're with the government. You're over here making sure nothing weird goes on."
Yeah, it was interesting, man. I'll tell you what, dude. I was really blown away. I saw a crackhead from my old neighborhood that was like volunteering there, but looked like she cleaned herself up.
Oh, really?
100%. I was shocked. She was a crackhead my whole life.
Yeah?
She was a crackhead my whole entire life, just wandering around the streets, just, one of them neighborhood crackheads.
Yeah.
Oh, no. 110%, bro.
Damn, she got new
110%.
teeth and she's supporting Kambala out there?
Dude, she was doing her thing out there. I think she was even training somebody.
Whoa.
Which means she had some kind of, that's how I know all the Trump ballots were getting fucking burned up in that fucking particular polling station.
Hey, listen, she might be over there. She turned her life around and she's getting into politics.
Yeah.
We might be voting for her in 4 years.
Yeah, yo. They might just pull Kambala out and stick her in.
No, we wouldn't know the difference.
No, I meant like Joe Biden.
But yeah, no, I went and did my thing. I know you went.
Yeah, I voted early, actually. I voted like earlier in the week.
That's smart.
Yeah.
Was it like, were you in and out?
Yeah, in and out, bro. It was the most efficient I've ever voted, though. And I voted every election since I turned 18. So I absolutely have not seen it this way. But what they didn't do was check my ID.
They didn't check my ID?
They didn't check your ID either, right?
They said,
They asked your name and your address.
and my date of birth.
Oh, they didn't ask my date of birth when I went.
Yeah, they were like, and it seemed like they already knew the answers to my question.
Yeah.
Because he didn't really see her. She was like, all right. I was like, he was like, first name. And I don't even know he needed the whole thing. But I was like, first name, I started spelling it. Last name, same thing. He was like, date of birth. I didn't even say the whole thing. I just said the year. And he was like, your address. And I was like, boom, boom, bam. And he was like, all right, keep it going. Next up.
Yeah. I mean, it was pretty damn streamlined because it was the same process for me, and then they flipped a tablet over and have you like sign or something, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so it was almost like a Starbucks, you know?
Dude, it was way harder than Starbucks.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was. It was like, selected tip. It was when he turned that puppy around, I was like, no, dude, I'm not tipping you too.
Yeah, you thought for sure, right? Because I'm not lying. When he flipped that thing around, I was like, no, not today. 20% this.
Yeah,
All right?
I was like, you would like that, wouldn't you? Who you voting for?
Yeah, no, absolutely not.
What color your drawers?
Yeah.
You know what was crazy?
What?
One of the guys, and I don't think this is crazy. I just think it's interesting. I guess it's not what I thought. One of the guys who were like taking in our information had like he had that it was like a political symbol from Europe. It was like a star and something else. I forgot what they used it for, but it was like one of those like old like political symbols that represent like the Axis or something like that, or this person, that person. It could have been just a symbol from Command and Conquer that I'm confusing for something that had some kind of historical value. But I was like, huh, you really like politics, huh?
What's it? What, he had like a tattoo of it?
On his hand, yeah.
Ah, so you're saying he was a commie?
No, I'm not saying he was a communist. He just had like some team tattooed on his hand.
Oh, all right.
He also had that like Palestinian symbol on his other hand.
Oh,
like
so he was
half
really
moon.
down for like just the process of government.
Yeah, he was very like, you could tell like he could probably had a wicked good argument. Like if I would have got into it with that guy, he would have made me vote for whoever he.
Yeah,
voted
he would have
for.
been debating you something crazy.
Yeah,
huh?
because he knows his shit.
All
and I
right.
was just like, that's interesting.
That's very interesting.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. I guess you want the people who volunteer are going to be the people who are like passionate, right? Because is that a volunteer program? The people who are working at the ballots?
I mean, some of the people I saw, it looked like it was a parole program, but I don't
Did
know.
they call you?
What do you mean? Did they call me?
Did your party call you?
I was never on parole.
I got called.
What are you trying to say?
I got called, and they
What,
were like,
shit.
They
What,
called
they called
me.
you to.
They were like, we want to make sure you're going to make it to the polls this upcoming week, and you're going to vote in the right way.
Get out of here.
I'm not joking.
Like, so
Even
what?
crazier than this.
I'll tell you right now, you're a registered Democrat if you got a phone call trying to sway your vote.
I'm not a registered Democrat. I'm a registered independent. And the Democratic Party called me, which was even crazier than that.
Oh, so they were reaching out to the independents. They were reaching out to the people they thought were undecided. They don't even waste their time with people that are registered for their party because they know those people will loyally vote for that party no matter the candidate.
Yeah, no matter the squirrel or
crazy?
raccoon that gets taken out.
They took a list of all the independents and they split them up. They were like, Sally, you get this group. Jimmy, this is you. And they were just cold calling people.
Yeah, they cold
You got
called
recruited.
me. And they were like, yeah. I was like, well, what kind of a program are we talking about? Like signing bonuses, anything? I said, who gave us recreational marijuana? Who was it?
Yeah.
I was like, because if you're fucking going to make deals here. No, they called me and I was just surprised. I was like, oh, they really do be calling people.
Yeah.
I didn't think that this was a thing. I've heard about this, but it's a thing. And it was this nice old lady. And I wasn't almost even going to be rude to her at all. I thought about it for a split second. Don't fucking call me. But I was kind of like, we just want to make sure you're going to show up to the polls. I was like, November 5th. They were like, yeah. I was like, I'll be there. And they said, you're going to vote for X, Y, and Z. And I was like, maybe I will. Maybe I won't. I said, but this is America. We can vote in any direction we want.
Yeah, is that what you said to him?
Yeah.
Shut up. You said that.
Yes, I said this. I said this
You're
is America.
a goddamn patriot.
I said this is why. This is America. I said because it doesn't really matter. I said who I'm going to vote for. Because the truth is like and we talked about this before. We don't. There's so much from my perspective, it's so muddy. It's hard to tell what's real and what's fake. I feel like you could easily be swayed in either direction if you're spoken to enough, because there's so many lies or alternative facts that are out that it's hard to tell what's real, what's fake, who's lying, who's not lying, who's gonna really come through and do what they say they're gonna do. It's such a muddied up swamp that you can't really. It's hard to anybody who says this is the. I'm telling you, this is the guy or gal. You got to vote this way. They're gonna be. They're lying. Nobody knows. We don't know. Nobody knows the truth.
people that are that hyped and that enthusiastic, there's a fan aspect to it at the same time. You know, there's kind of a fan element to that as well, besides just the idea of policy. I mean, I'm very hyped for inflation to go away. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know if it's going to make me like paint a big letter on my chest and yell in the fucking stands of a basketball game or something like that for the candidate I want.
Yeah, well, this outfit is as far as I go.
Yeah, and this is for America in general.
Yeah, this is America. I don't want anybody to confuse this for any team.
Yeah, don't get this twisted, all right? Let the Eagles speak for itself.
Yeah, Team America, all right? That's it. Lower interest rates. Yeah. And maybe, I'm not going to say anything else.
Yeah.
We're going to catch up on the chat. Maybe less migrants. I said it anyways. Shame on me. I look like one of them, so I can say what I want.
Yeah, Berto definitely looks like you gotta grip your purse tight when a scooter goes by.
Oh, especially, dude, right now with no haircut, I definitely look like I drive one of those scooters in Manhattan. I look like I stay at that fucking hotel. And dude, it's because even the pole people knew it too when I walked in. They immediately handed me the Spanish one, and I was like, "What's this about?" I said, "Why is there weird accents above the words? Give me the English one, honey." She was like, "Oh, perdón."
She said, "Lo siento."
Yeah, lo siento. And she looked at me, covered her mouth, and said, "You know, Tony didn't mean that." Real quick,
she said he's already been fired. Don't worry.
So, Mr. Hitchcliff will never be back at another rally. Catch up on the chat. Spaz says they were talking. Spaz started off where. Start from the beginning. The intro tunes. The intro tunes weren't there because we mute it, because sometimes when we don't mute that one, everything goes unmuted, and then you guys can hear us say a bunch of terrible racist things before we go on live. And then, what up, my fellow participants in this increasingly becoming in what is increasingly becoming a banana republic? That's funny. Spaz says, I want to see who dressed up as Trump, and which is Kamala. That would have been funny if one of us would have dressed like Trump and the other one would have dressed like Kamala. I think that I'd have to be Kamala for obvious reasons.
You'd have to be Kamala.
Yeah, I would. Oh, we did it.
All you got to do is go.
Yeah. It's funny because when I do the impersonation, that's the first thing that comes to my head is we did it. Damn, I wasn't too far off. I hope you're happy about our outfits. I'm so happy you guys finally came out together. It's so brave. Brothers in arms. Sword coursers at our best. Spaz says he drove 25 minutes twice and tried to early vote, but the lines were too long. Today I drove 10 minutes to my assigned location, and I was in and out in less than 10 minutes. Damn. He went 3 times. Chris says, I early voted. They did not check my ID. However, I will say I did intentionally sign my name differently and it did not go through. They asked me if I wanted to try again, and then I signed it correctly. If that's a fucking thing, that's crazy.
No way that's true. Who signs their name the same as the first time they ever submitted their signature on something ever? Look at your driver's license. I guarantee it looks nothing like what yours looks like. I have the same signature on my driver's license from when I was like 15 years old. Dude, it's all like I looked like I couldn't even write cursive. It was ridiculous.
Mine's different every time.
Bro, I got a loop around around part of my shit.
Dude, my shit looks like an ink blob.
Yeah.
Like the shit the psychologists be showing you.
Yep, you're like, it looks like you should take 4 of these twice a day.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. My shit looks like a prescription. But I will say, in Chris's defense, my girl had an issue with like the DMV or something like that because she didn't sign the same way that she originally signed. And she's like, well, guess what, bitch? This is my new fucking signature. So take note. This is how it's going to be from now on. I'm not going to sign the old one.
Wow.
So theoretically, all you need to know is my name, address, and forge my signature. I can sign in mostly the same. And that stupid heart covers that. I assure you I'm not bullshitting. I think that might be what he's saying.
Yep.
See the A. No, I believe it. I just think it's interesting, right? That like, they got your signature in there? But it does make sense, right? Because you register to vote when you get your license. So there could be that correlation between the digital signature on your license and what they perceive is going to be your signature when you go in there to, verify yourself.
I don't know. I had no idea that they actually stored your signature somewhere.
Yeah, they definitely store
You
your
know?
signature.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Did you take a picture of your ballot?
No.
I seen like a lot of people taking pictures of their ballot.
Damn, maybe I should have done that. But there's no name on the ballot.
I wouldn't take a
They
picture
just
of
give
it.
you a ballot from your area, but there's no name on it. It's anonymous.
Yeah, I don't
You
want.
know?
I don't want. Even if it, I wouldn't want to take a picture of it when the shit hits the fan. They start picking out the people who didn't vote for the person that won. You know what I'm saying? And they start putting us in these fucking houses.
Camps?
Yeah,
Yeah, bro.
I don't want them to start putting us together and concentrating on us.
Yeah.
Fuck out of here. I'm not taking a picture of my ballot. You'll never know. Maybe I voted for Kamala. Maybe I voted for Trump. Maybe I circled them both in, you know?
Oh, my God. I actually saw somebody's get rejected.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it got rejected because they messed up something on it. But the lady wouldn't look at it. She was like, I'm not looking at the screen. She's like, what does it say? All I got prompted, all I can see is that it was rejected. She was like, what does it say? Follow the prompts on it. And the guy was like, well, what do I do? She's like, just read it. What does it say? You know?
I'm not gonna lie, I wanted a receipt from that fucking thing. After it
Yeah,
took my
bro,
thing in, I wanted a
I
receipt.
can't lie. I did too.
I wanted a receipt. I seen it and I was like, is that? He's like, all right, that's it. I was like, what do you mean that's it? Where's my receipt?
Yeah. Yo, I feel you 100%.
I wanted that thing to spit something out that said present and accounted for.
Bro, I feel you 110% on that, man.
Yeah.
I really do. I feel that wholeheartedly. Fuck. We didn't get a receipt, man.
No, that thing had a bunch of those plastic zip ties on it. You could tell. I don't care what anybody says. I think these things are they're not tamper proof, but they're doing their due diligence, you know?
Yeah. But it's only that way. It's only considered like somewhat tamper proof or like it'll work if the people that gave you the machine don't want you to get into it.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
Listen, when we all leave, who knows what the fuck they could do? But that's what I'm saying, even to my original point. We don't know what's real or what's fake. We don't know. There's no way of knowing for certain. We don't know.
Yeah, we really don't know.
It's a farce. It's a fugazi.
Yeah.
This whole entire thing is a fugazi. I'm not saying that your vote doesn't count. That I believe. But what I'm saying is that whether promises are kept or this person's the right person, that person's the right person, nobody really knows.
Yeah. Nobody really knows unless it's not real. Like, oh, you mean nobody knows if it's real or fake? Or nobody knows who's going to win?
Nobody knows. Nobody for sure knows who the best candidate is and who's best for this country because there's so much like lying and like these weird like last minute endorsements or these like I feel like this election, and it could have been like this for every election and I'm just ignorant, but this election specifically, in my opinion, has been so like celebrity like hyped up. Like there's been so many celebrities coming out of the woodwork and endorsing these fucking people. And I'm like, dude, like I like you because you were good on a movie. Like I don't give a fuck what your political values are. How do I know that we our interests aligned? You know?
Isn't it weird how those celebrity endorsements only go one direction? The majority of them? I
will say that
90% of them?
more of them, like Kamala having like a map in Fortnite, is kind of crazy when I'm sure that a majority of their users aren't old enough to vote. She got a lot of like hip hop endorsers, which is weird because I'm like, Cardi B like coming up and speaking. Who'd she speak for?
She spoke for Kamala Harris, bro.
She spoke for Kamala.
Yo, I'm disappointed in that Fat Joe got involved in this at all.
Well, look at Cardi B, and I'm like, Cardi B, I love you, but the truth is that you got lucky. Like she was a stripper, running plays on tricks. Like let's keep it a stack. Like this is like, and this is the person you want me to vote for you because this person said it.
Yeah.
This person was running game on motherfuckers 5 years, 6 years ago, 10 years ago.
That's a
What
fact.
are we talking about? This is the person who got plastic surgery in a Bronx apartment.
Yeah.
This person,
Yeah.
you want me to like pick you now because you and it's not just about the Democrats, the Republicans too. Little Pump endorsing Trump. You want me to pick you? This kid, I watched him do drugs at like the age of 14 on YouTube, going on tour, doing wild stuff. Like you want me to believe that this guy's the opinion that I should trust?
Yeah.
The fact that they have these morons endorsing them is crazy. And the fact that people, align with them because these morons endorse them is even crazier. The fact that your vote can be swayed because of a comedian's joke, how crazy is that? Like, how sensitive is your how thin is your alignment to your candidate if you allow like any of these stupid things that have nothing to do with what really happens? It has nothing to do on their policies. It has nothing to do with like what they're going to do. It's just somebody saying, I fuck with this person. I like him. And then you see him topsy-turvy because what's his name? Who's that reggaetonero that voted for, that endorsed Trump and then turned around?
Nicky Jam.
Nicky Jam came out for Trump originally. Now Trump said his thing about Puerto Rico, and now all of a sudden he doesn't want to be with Trump anymore.
Yeah. Well, Trump didn't say it. Tony Hinchcliffe said it. But yes.
Tony Hinchcliffe said it at the Trump rally. Now all of a sudden he doesn't want Trump anymore. It's like, dude, what do you say? So you like everything about him. You think he's great. You were gonna pick him. You were going to pick this guy to be the president of the United States, and then a comedian came on stage and made it what, in my opinion, is a distasteful, not funny joke, and now you're not going to pick him? Now he's not the guy? How great.
Bro. Yeah, bro, the entire conversation that I've had with people that got so upset by that, every Puerto Rican that is upset about this, I'm just... like, this emotional knee-jerk reaction is exactly why there's so many of us in prison. It's just you're so easy to manipulate emotionally. You know, like, why is that the case? Why can somebody say one thing and it makes you fly off the handle? People were saying to me, like, just disrespect. We don't let them disrespect. You know how many people are doing 25 to life because they had a knee-jerk reaction to disrespect?
Yeah.
Use your head. Use your head. Stop letting these people manipulate us. Stop doing that. And, manipulate us emotionally, and then they call a racist card, all that kind of stuff. And it just blinds our vision so that we're not able to make clear decisions. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
It's crazy.
You want to catch us up on the chat?
You want to? Yeah, let's do it. All right, so we'll go.
And then I got a video I want to play for you.
Do you?
I just thought it's not a video that I'm going to play. I want to let you guys listen to it. Last night, for whatever reason, I'm not a big snorer.
Okay.
Dude, last night I snored my snoring was so crazy that my chick recorded it, sent it to me, woke me up, and said, "Yo, go check your phone." It's like 3 a.m. She's like, "Go check your phone." I look at my phone. I see the video she sent me. She goes, "I can't sleep because of you." And like I play it, I sound crazy. Because she said, I would have woke up and said, "I'm not snoring." Dude, I sounded crazy last night. But go ahead. You catch up on the chat, and then I'll play the video. I'll let you guys listen to what I sounded like last night.
Let's see. So Chris says it's on your driver's license, referring back to the signature. So Spaz says, as of right now, Trump is winning every reporting state except Vermont. All right. I mean, it's early on. They build this thing up like an award show production or something like that. They build it up. They make it seem super neck and neck and stuff. We'll see. They're going to have, here comes Kamala. Like, they're like
it's
announcing
a fucking dog and pony show.
Yeah, they're announcing a horse race.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, Trump in the lead. He's got most of the states. Oh, wait a minute. Here comes Kamala. Like that. And then it'll be Trump again. They'll seesaw the whole thing. So then Chris says, so the government has it somewhere. Yeah, the signature. But again, my signature at 15 isn't the same as it is now, I'm sure. It was like this in 2016, 2020, but I don't remember it in 2012. He's referring to the election when we touched on that, when you said kind of the climate of the election, having all these celebrities and all that kind of stuff. Twiz laughed my ass off. The Fitz. And Spaz, I think Elon Musk said the other day that celebs are being forced or paid to promote a candidate. And Twizzy, this election was crazy. And Dave, again, commenting on a drip. It's a mass is a none. You know what I mean?
Super jiggy in this motherfucker. USA! I think we got to remember what's most important, Freedom, motherfuckers. That's why we get to vote. You could be somewhere in fucking Saudi Arabia right now and they tell you who to pick,
Yeah.
Or, you just go in there and the ballots just go into a shredder. And I don't even know if that's right. It's true about Saudi Arabia. I just picked a random country. But there's a lot of places you just go to. They got the same fucking president for 30 years or something like that, right?
Facts.
So regardless of where we go, dude, what's most important is the people like us. You know what I'm saying? These other people, they're doing stuff for themselves, and they're. I had an interesting conversation about the tariffs because, and I want to ask you about this actually. Let me know if this makes sense to you.
Okay.
One of Trump's, one of the policies or things that he's running on is, this promise to increase taxes on companies producing products outside the United States. Like he's saying he's going to raise the taxes for China. Do you think that if something like that happens, that the effect would simply be that the consumer has to pay an even higher price? Or do you think that incentivizes companies to come here and produce things in the States and, not have to pay that in order to, mitigate the risk of paying the tax and possibly pricing things at the same, if not cheaper?
I think that, because I learned a little bit from actually hearing Elon Musk on Joe Rogan and the way he explained tariffs. He was like, you got to be careful with tariffs. And originally I thought it was like a good idea. I was like, hey, you got to charge people to, pay to play kind of thing. Mm-hmm. You want to come over here. But my concern is that with the tariffs, that really only works, that particular leverage, if America is the current biggest consumer of that, the biggest market. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Because otherwise, they'll just focus on their larger market. If you're not the biggest market for a company that's producing things overseas or something, right? Or an American company that wants to produce overseas. If America's not the biggest consumer of that product, like the largest market, which we're starting to dwindle a bit, we're not, other places are catching up rather. So if it's going to be this tariff to send products to America, why wouldn't they pivot and focus on, let's say, Japan, or focus on, you know what I mean? Focus on another country as their market, as their target market.
So here's the other caveat that I read. It's that the taxes is paid by the importer, whoever's bringing it in, right? So while Apple is somebody who's producing something overseas and also brings it in and sells it here, they would have to pay that tariff. But there's a lot of other companies that are buying these products from companies in China, American companies, that would now have to pay this tariff too.
See, I got to be honest, man. I brought up the tariffs to someone I was talking to, and I don't think I fully understood tariffs and how they work. I think the way you're saying it is more of the way that it is. I was not under that impression.
Somebody watched a video on tariffs and then made this argument with me. And now here I am just regurgitating what they told me. So my understanding is essentially what I illustrated, that this tax is paid by the importer, right? I go to China, I buy 1,000 motherboards, I'm going to bring them in. I now have to pay those taxes on them, right? Because they can't tax them to produce them.
Yeah, it's only to import. That's the difference between tariffs and taxes, right?
And it will affect the really large companies. Like I use Apple as an example because Apple's a company that produces their products overseas and then brings them in to sell them here. Auto manufacturers do the same exact thing, so it will affect the auto manufacturers as well. You look at I think Ford has a couple plants in Mexico or something like that. There's a lot of companies that have auto factories in Mexico. I know VW is one of them. If you bought a Bug between 2004 and 2014, that shit was made in Mexico. Yeah. But it'll affect companies like that, American companies like that will produce overseas and bring in stuff. But I just wonder if that yields the results. And these guys are experts and I'm not. So I'm sure if they're saying it, that they're being honest and being forthcoming, and it will yield positive results. But in my head, I'm like, damn, every other time a company's incurred a larger expense, I've ended up paying for it.
Yeah.
I wonder. I don't know. It's why I brought it up. I wanted to see what you thought.
I don't really have much of an opinion, to be honest, because my entire mindset has been opened up about this because I really didn't. I misunderstood tariffs from the beginning, so I got some homework to do. But I don't know. It'll be interesting because I don't think as many voters as should be are even having this conversation. You see how you and I are talking about tariffs, mm-hmm. and we're talking about kind of trying to understand the concept. This is, a policy that a candidate is running on. So the fact that you and I are even trying to understand this is what we need people to try to do. instead of just going and listening to who Usher says to vote for.
That's what I'm
You know
saying.
what I'm
It's
saying?
like, I don't give a fuck what Ja Rule has to say at a time like this. You know what I'm saying? It's like, why? It's so stupid, dude. They need to, I find as I get older, I find more things that I say. They need to make that illegal. I find myself saying that more and more often. But if they sweep this one under the naughty list, I won't be mad. It's like, you shouldn't be able to pay somebody to endorse you. Is that legal?
Now, I don't think they can directly pay somebody, but
They
they
get the
got
speaker fee?
roundabout ways. I'm sure they have roundabout ways, connections. Just the way rich people move.
Can we talk about the Boston Tea Party next?
It's just, but this is something interesting.
Yeah.
To me anyway.
You have some other political news, not from America, that you would tell me about that I found it very interesting. You want to tell the people how politics get done in other countries?
Yes, I like the segue. I actually stumbled upon this story that started popping off yesterday. It's not really making the crazy rounds in America as far as I've seen, but it's going to make its way here. Mm-hmm. I found this in the Twitter sphere, and then I dove down the rabbit hole. Apparently, over in Africa, in an area called Equatorial Guinea, right, there was this civil servant, guy that worked for the government, guy that worked with a lot of agency people and stuff. They ended up leaking yesterday, it seems. They leaked a bunch of tapes off of his computer that he had shot in his office. Like his office, his government office. This guy, turns out, he was just tapping every single, like everybody's wife in the whole area. There was over 400 tapes they found. 400, bro. This guy was hooking up with everybody's chick and recording it. He was like a serial player. I don't really know what to call it. Guy was like a serial pimp.
Dude, his OnlyFans is probably crazy.
Bro, this guy, it says here, now these are alleged, right? These are alleged positions. This dude hooked up with the wife of the director of presidential security, the attorney general's wife, the daughter of the director general of police, the wife of the pastor's little brother, his godfather's wife. I don't know what that is right there, but his bodyguard's wife, 15 friends of his younger sister.
He banged out 15 her friends.
Bro, this guy's putting
that's a lot
work.
of friends.
Yo, what kind of political office did he hold?
Yeah, he definitely hit an ace on her friends.
Bro,
15, that's got to be all of them.
Bro, 15. I mean, she's got a lot of friends apparently. Sleepovers were lit. So he also said the pastor's wife. It says wives of several ministers, his own little brother's wife, and his uncle's pregnant wife.
Damn. Savage.
Bro, you ain't got enough time on daytime TV for this Maury episode. You don't even have time for this.
How is this? They're going to kill him, right?
Yeah, they said they arrested him, and they arrested him for perpetrating this in a government office, like in a I don't know.
They probably just made that rule up like the day they found it. They were like, what? Fuck.
Yeah.
You know what? You can't fuck in this room.
Yeah, bro. Yo, I'm telling you, bro.
Did he do it in this room?
Yeah, seriously. I don't know, man. I don't know if they're gonna stone him. I don't know what's gonna happen. But when I stumbled on that story and then I started looking it up, it was on the BBC. It was on a lot of non-US media sites.
Yeah, his BBC was everywhere. I'll tell you right now. He's put his BBC in everybody's wife. That's crazy. I don't know. I'll tell you one thing for sure, two things for certain. That dude was swinging that thing. Is he married, this guy? And how is
yes?
And how is he?
I can't believe that I threw that softball up and didn't even know I did.
And I had not only that, but like, how is it that none of these people? Some of these people had to have known, right? There's no way. Is this guy Batman?
Yo,
is he
I'll tell you
Alfred?
what, he's very unassuming. You want to see him?
Let me see this fucking guy.
I'm going to show him to you right now. Look at him. Looks like Mayor Adams.
You remember the guy in that cricket match or the tennis match that has his hands on his hips?
No.
That's who he looks like. The meme of that guy. He's like, I think it's like a cricket match or a tennis match. He just looks. Everybody, people out there know who I'm talking about. That's what this guy looks like. Jesus Christ.
Jeez.
Man. Yeah, they're gonna stone him to death because where he lives, there is no due process.
Right. Yeah, I'm not sure how the government works over there, but I'll tell you what, he wasn't doing much governing, or he wasn't doing, he had a lot of time on his hands.
Yeah, Jesus, and a lot of BBC. Anyways, I wanted to get into this. We didn't talk about this last week. Dude, they freed Young Thug.
True story.
Young Thug gets out with a thank you so much, Tom. You're the man. That's the meme I'm talking about. This is the guy. Real quick, come to this. Can you bring this camera? Come on.
Back it up. Yeah, just pull it in. Leave it right there. Back it up a little bit so it can focus. There you go. Oh, that looks like an unboxing video of this guy.
That's what this guy. That's what the guy slinging Guinea in Guinea looks like. So, real quick. All right. So Young Thug. I'll touch on. These are two totally different topics, but I'm gonna touch on Young Thug quick. Young Thug gets
Pause.
out.
Pause.
Pause. Takes cops a plea deal for 14 years on probation.
Yeah, it's crazy.
14 years of probation. Dude, he can't go to the metro Atlanta area for like 5 years. He's not allowed to hang out with any criminals. No drinking, no drugs. Can't have weapons. Can't be around weapons.
This is a total setup.
Can't hang out with gang members. Can't hang out with felons. This is limiting his friends list.
Bro, I wonder what monastery he's gonna join. I don't know where you get. Where are you gonna go? That's a setup, bro.
It is a setup. We talked about this a little bit before. It is a setup, but it's like, what are you gonna do, bro? You're gonna go to jail for? I think the deal before this deal was 45 years in jail. It's like he's already been in there for like 2.5 years, and honestly, I'm gonna keep it a stack. He's the only one that's really been holding it down.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. He's really been fighting the fight on this, bro.
100%. And it's like, what else is he going to do? Is he going to sit in jail forever so that people could say that he's a real motherfucker or whatever the case may be? He didn't rat. He's not ratting on nobody. He's copping a plea.
Bro, taking a plea deal and getting no jail time for the stuff he was facing, that's a dub, bro.
Yeah. Dude, it's a long time of probation, and he's probably going to violate. I hope he doesn't. 6ix9ine just violated. He's in jail now.
Yeah, it's tough, man. If they want you to violate, you'll violate. If they want to violate you, you'll violate, bro.
Yeah, it's man. But Little Durk got arrested for, I think, conspiracy to commit murder. I'll tell you exactly what it is. Lil Durk arrested October 25th. He's charged with conspiracy to commit murder for hire in the 2022 shooting of Savari Robinson, which I think isn't that
Keep going with the story. I'll look it up.
Yeah. The shooting occurred in a gas station in the Beverly Center of the mall in Los Angeles. Robinson was the cousin of Quando Rondo.
Oh, okay.
Who was the intended target of the attack. So remember when we got together, I was telling you about this, and I was like, oh, it was Quando Rondo. But it was Quando Rondo was in the car. This was the video you got that everybody sees of Quando Rondo getting out of the car and like screaming and crying because they just killed his cousin. They're saying that they're alleging that they have proof that like that he hired people and were like getting them flights to come in on like OTF's, which is the record label's like accounts. Like he was like using credit cards. And not only that, but they're saying that the shooter, who they already arrested as well, who's a signed artist under OTF, they're saying that he did this to get a record deal. And the same guy raps about killing people to come home onto the record label on like songs. And this is like Chicago people who are known for like killing each other and then rapping about it, like giving the exact stories. They got like King Von songs where he's like doing like rapping about like the exact scenario about murdering somebody. So it's not like this is like far-fetched for like Chicago drill rappers, but it's just crazy. Lil Durk, somebody who just like really came out and now he's Muslim and he's like, seems to be like he's trying to turn his life around. It makes you think like, did you know this was coming? And like that was like your plan to try to, draw this facade. They also said that they arrested him early because he was he had booked flights to like Switzerland and Italy, and they didn't want him to leave the country, so they just kind of pulled the plug on everything early, brought him in, and then charged him.
Wow. So he's fully indicted now.
Yeah, I guess he's in jail right now. Damn. And there's a charge, so I guess I don't even know what indicted means. So
I thought it sounded good.
Yeah, no, it sounded great. You're right. He's indicted. he's indicted. He's not in the same diddler boat as Diddy's in, but he's in a fucked up situation.
Yeah, that is not good, man. He was doing his thing. That record that he had with J. Cole, and I think he just won a Grammy, didn't he?
Dude, he came out, went super, super viral, then fell off, moved to New York. King Von came out, starts rapping with him. His career blows up again. And he's had a lot of ebb and flows in his career. But, I mean, dude, they're killing each other over there. They're all just killing each other.
Bro, it's such a crazy...
Chicago's crazy. And then they're rapping about it.
Dude, and then they just document all their crimes.
Dude, they're doing it on IG Live. Dude, savages. I forgot what that song is. I think it's a Chief Keef song where he goes, there's savages out there. Oh, yeah, it's the... was it something Sosa? The song, these bitches love so. I forgot what the song is. When the guy in the intro of the song is talking about how like people saying this is about Chief Keef. Chief Keef ain't about this. Chief Keef ain't about that. You remember that?
Yes. It was like famous when he was popping off.
Exactly. So, but in that song, he talks about, that he got caught with the ratchet shooting at police and shit. Like, that's what they're glorifying. Like, that's what their rappers are doing. Like, their rappers ain't faking the funk.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. And there's so many of them that have already been locked up.
And killed.
One of them, I forget the name of the dude that just...
Duck?
Nah, the dude that he popped somebody like in Times Square. And he was just about to blow up as a rapper. He just... let off on some dude in Times Square, and he's doing a bunch of time. I'm like, dude, how?
Congratulations.
I thought he wasn't even from New York. I was like, you must not be from New York letting off on somebody in Times Square. That's like the most surveillance of any location in the world.
You better off shooting him in the airport.
Yeah, for in the plane.
Yeah.
Bro, that's crazy.
Remember that time Joel Santana brought the gun with him to
and
the
then
airport
he ran
by
on
mistake?
foot. He tried to escape on foot.
It's Joel Santana. We know who you are.
Yo.
Hey. That's what they were saying to him as he was running away.
Right?
And then he got caught up. Oh, boy.
Yeah, sometimes you get caught out there, doing something crazy. Sometimes you record yourself. Sometimes.
But I guess we'll see what happens to Lil Durk. He's probably going to go to jail.
You think so? What if he gets off like Thug? What do you think? Do you think there's a possibility?
I think the thing with Thug, like, there's other people that are doing time for the Thug situation. I don't know. I don't know if that 15 years probation was a good deal. It sounds like a good deal. I'm not a criminal who's ready to sit up and wait for like the best deal possible. They might have got me at 45. I might have copped out when they offered me that. So the truth is that I don't know. I think that the Young Thug situation is different. I guess it's not really different because if they're saying that this guy hired people if he hired people to murder people, they're kind of alleging that Young Thug was like a criminal mastermind orchestrating, hits and things like that as well. Because they're saying that he's responsible for like the shooting of like this person's tour van or that person. So like I guess they're similar in that sense.
Yeah, I mean it kind of draws them as like they're some kind of kingpin type of characters. Right? Like it's
the Lil Durk situation, even more of it. Like, it's like a kingpin thing because they're saying that he did that. Like he was offering somebody a record deal for that, to kill somebody.
Wow. These cases are interesting. We'll have to see how it plays out. If it's alleged or if that really happened. But the one case I want to touch on that I touched on early on because, Durk will have his day in court. Thug's going home, is that Peanut the Squirrel story.
Oh, man, I can't believe we haven't talked about this yet.
Yeah, I want to finish it out on this. So Peanut the squirrel, for those that don't know, Peanut the squirrel is a squirrel that became somewhat famous on TikTok and on Instagram with his handler, right? His handler's name, what's his handler's name? Or his owner is Mark Longo, guy that lives in New York with his girl, which Berto brought something to my attention that I didn't even know. Apparently, they're an OnlyFans couple.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So there's some kind of OnlyFans couple. So they do that on the side.
And maybe next time when somebody discovers that there's like these guys are doing porn, we could just share that. We could say that we discovered it. Maybe just don't throw it on me. Maybe just don't say, hey, you know what Roberto told me? I had no idea because I was just getting out of church. These guys fuck for a living. Roberto told me that. All right. Where was it, Roberto? Where you said OnlyFans, right? That's where you found it? All right. Go ahead.
No, that you found out the story, that you did the journalistic, you gave this story some journalistic integrity. You went after it.
Yeah, I got to give it to Philip DeFranco. He's the one that told me. But yeah, apparently these guys do it. When you see her, it's like, it's on brand. She's like completely tatted to the neck. She's pretty hot. It's like, oh. I'm so gross.
There's a link in the bio.
Yeah.
For sure. But no, so, they also had an animal rescue, right? Alongside their other ventures.
Yeah. Essentially they had like, social media for their pets. It started off with a squirrel that this guy found after the mother squirrel was hit by a car. He got out in an attempt to kind of get the other squirrel, the baby squirrel, out of the street. And when he was kind of like trying to shoo it away, it climbed up his leg. And then he took it home, nursed it for 8 months, tried to release it, and the squirrel came back a day and a half later, and it had like its tail like halfway ripped off. So he was like, at that point, he was like, all right, you're staying with me. And he took the squirrel in, made a social media page for the squirrel. Squirrel went viral. It's got 900 some odd thousand followers.
Huh. So that being said, it's I'm sure that it's a pretty, controlled animal. I'm sure it's probably
they got this thing doing tricks. Yeah, well cared for. He puts it in places in the house. It jumps off of objects onto him. It's it seemed like a pretty cool squirrel every time I seen it.
All right, and it didn't look malnourished. It didn't look
malnourished. No, squirrel looked good. And not in my opinion. And let's keep it a stack. Like, would we rather this squirrel be like one of the Brooklyn squirrels? You think squirrels in Brooklyn are living better than this squirrel is?
Yeah, nah. You remember when there were like those black squirrels running around for a couple years?
Those are the rare ones. Those
you remember that?
The best. Yeah. I'm not gonna tell you. You're setting me up. They're eating the squirrels 100%. That's why there's no more black ones. Those would say so bad. They're eating the squirrels.
They're eating the squirrels.
That's so funny. Oh my God. Yeah. If you go to a city and whatever animal you don't see, like if you don't see, like if you're from a city and you're used to pigeons and squirrels and all these animals, and you get to another city and you don't see those things there, you can pretty much guarantee somebody's plucking those for dinner.
Can't be eating goddamn squirrels.
No, but go ahead.
But yeah, so with this story, evidently there was allegedly a complaint made by somebody.
A woman.
Yeah, I'm sure. Karen.
It was, I'm not saying it like these goddamn women. It just happens to have been a woman. Her name is like leaked online.
Oh, man.
She's getting death threats and shit. Yeah.
Oh, man. So she makes this complaint that he's got this squirrel and he's got this raccoon. So New York State is where this occurred, which is one of the most corrupt states in the union. There's a reason they charge everybody with these, all right? There's a reason they charge every major person they actually want to take down. There's a reason they charge them in New York, because it's the most manipulatable or easy to manipulate part of the court system, in my opinion.
Dude, isn't our mayor currently fucking fighting legal battles?
Absolutely. Apparently, he took some kind of bribe or something from like a Turkish government or something.
Gotta crack a couple eggs to make an omelet. That's what I say.
Yeah.
My boy Eric Adams, go ahead.
But so with this story, so the DEC, which is the Department of Environmental Conservation, which is funded by tax dollars as far as I know, and they went into his home, which he described it, this guy Mark Longo, he described it as 5 hours. They put him outside of his home, had to give him a police escort so he could use the bathroom in his own home while they searched through his home. They end up taking the squirrel. They had a warrant, he said, for the squirrel and the raccoon. So he also had a raccoon in there named Fred. So it was Peanut the squirrel and Fred the raccoon. The Department of Environmental Conservation sends officers in there. They take these animals from this man that he is taking good care of. They take them into their custody and they euthanize them.
Crazy.
They killed this guy's pets. They took his pets and they killed them. Killed his animals. Bro, when he's got a legal animal sanctuary.
How crazy is that? These same people don't let you get abortions either, I'm telling you. But they're out there killing the squirrels. I don't know. I'm sorry. My mind works like that. Go ahead.
But, you know, for that to be the way the government is behaving in New York State, I mean, for them to come in, take animals from you that are in your possession and kill them, I mean, what is that, dude?
I don't get, why did they, I heard that the squirrel had bit a handler.
They were saying that it allegedly, what the DEC was saying, as far as I saw, that was, you know, reported by CNN, for what you could take that as, you know, take it for what it is. It came from CNN. But they said that the somebody involved in the investigation was bitten by the squirrel. Well, you're already investigating and you're in the house. Why are you in here? Yeah, this is like nobody told you come in here.
It's a dude's squirrel.
Yeah.
I would expect it to bite somebody who doesn't know. You're probably holding it funny. This guy doesn't know how to handle a squirrel. He's been holding it the way he's been holding it.
Yeah.
And now you're coming over here with your professional touch, and that squirrel doesn't appreciate it. All right?
So that squirrel had no choice but to let you know how much he didn't appreciate it.
And what the fuck did raccoon do that he got to get plucked too?
Yo, I don't know. They must have hit the squirrel with the Rico, bro.
Well, this is not the
homies down.
Did you hear about the story they fucked up where they killed that guy's? They went into the guy's house who had a bunch of snakes. They ended up finding out that he had some snakes that he wasn't supposed to have, and then they started killing the snakes. Dude, the first snake they grabbed was the wrong snake.
Was it like pregnant?
Yes.
It was pregnant with some kind of rare boa constrictor or something. It was some kind of snake. I don't know what kind.
Yeah, it was a reticulating python. And it was like one of the ones he was allowed to have, but they killed it. But go ahead. I'm just saying that this is not the first time that a department like this, that was in New York, but a department like this kind of comes into somebody's crib or business and just takes an animal and then kills it.
Yeah, I don't know how you can just jump to killing the animal without really making sure you got the facts.
What was I need to know. I said this to you, but I need more details. Like, why did they kill the squirrel? Was it because it bit somebody? Because they won't kill your dog if it bites them, you know? And do you just have euthanasia on deck?
They were saying, I think that because it bit someone, they wanted to put it down to check it for rabies or something. Maybe because it's a wild animal. If it bites you, it's a different protocol than a domesticated animal that you know has had its shots and things like that.
Jeez.
You know?
Rabies is crazy though, right? Like,
yeah.
you can't undo rabies?
I really don't know, to be honest. You mean in a person?
Yeah, I hear like rabies is a death sentence.
Really? Get out of here.
Yeah, and then you become like aquaphobic or something like that, where you can't drink water, so you essentially like dehydrate to death.
Get out of here.
And there's no cure for it.
Really? You research rabies? Or
it ran rampant in India at one point.
Get out of here.
Yeah, somebody, you could look it up, tell us if that's true. It's 8:00 on the dot, but we can close this off with a quick rabies.
Yo, I must be so off with spelling rabies that Google is giving me crazy other things. It's giving me like ravioli recipes.
Spaz, it sounds like it took them 5 hours to get that squirrel to finally bite. Yeah, I don't know like what was their intention either.
Let's see. Rabies is almost always fatal once symptoms appear, and there is no specific treatment. However, rabies is completely preventable if you get treated immediately after exposure.
Yeah.
Stop playing.
Yeah, rabies don't fuck around. If you found out that you got rabies because like you start feeling something, you start feeling funny,
you got to call all your girls.
Too late. Not just better call. I don't know who to call. Call a hooker. You know what I'm saying? Try to call somebody. I guess you can't give it to unless but it's like vampire thing, I think. You gotta bite somebody to give it to them. I don't think it's like, it can't be one of them. You know what? Now that we're onto this and we're getting scientific, I don't know how you give or get rabies. Can you get is it like an STD? Or do you have to be bitten? Is it like a vampire thing? Is it like a vampire thing?
Dude, I
Or
really...
like a Wolverine?
Bro.
Is it like one of those things?
Yeah.
Or is it in your spit? Is it like AIDS?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because how do you get HIV? Can you get HIV through spit?
I think you would have to drink like 2 gallons of it.
But blood.
Yeah, blood, just a little dab would do you.
Yeah, okay.
You know?
So maybe it's like HIV. Maybe it's like that. I don't know. But don't get rabies, ladies and gentlemen. I think that's what our consensus is, right? I think that's what we...
Dude, that is... that is one of the funniest things ever. He said, rabies, how you get rabies? I think rabies is like a vampire thing.
I sincerely do not know. Because when you hear about it, people only get bit. You've never heard anybody like sitting on the toilet after somebody else and getting rabies.
Yeah, you might be right, man. I wonder why the hell it is that they had to put them down. If it did bite somebody, maybe he woke up naked in the woods, or something like that. And they were like, we gotta do something about this.
No, yeah, to go back to the story, I don't see why they would kill them immediately. I can see them taking them back to their center and saying, hey, we got to hold these motherfuckers till we figure something out.
Yeah, like a little death row type of thing instead of just
like due process.
Yeah, yeah. Due process for Fred and Peanut.
Yeah. Not only that, but like they were there because of the alleged complaints that this guy didn't have like a proper facility to maintain these animals. Meanwhile, he had many of other animals. He had horses, alpacas, emus, llamas. They have a sanctuary. I don't think they plugged any one of those emus. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for some reason they were big on the squirrel and the raccoon.
I think the rule is about having wild animals in your house. Dude, we live in a place. I guess this is where like I begin to get confused, right? Because I want to be like, I should be able to have whatever I want in my house, right? But there's other people who will literally, like, they got like saber-tooth tigers and shit like that they want to have in their crib. And I don't want to live next to somebody like that. So I think there should be some rules, There has to be rules. This is why there's rules in place. Because then you got that lady who was feeding that thing, Merlot and Xanax.
The chimp.
Yeah, it took her friend's face off. So there needs to be some kind of rules. But at the same time, there needs to be due process. They should have pulled the squirrel and the raccoon, done their investigation, and then made their decision after that.
Yeah, maybe they think they did do that, but I think leave a little simmering time. I mean, good Lord, man.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know the timeline either, but, just, goddamn, did you guys not check the TikTok of this squirrel? Like, you didn't think this was going to be a thing? This is worse than Harambe, because at least Harambe had a kid in his possession. You know what I'm saying? You remember Harambe?
I just don't know if I want to agree with you on the internet about saying Harambe did something bad. The internet's very, 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 very critical of Harambe. They're Harambe fans. Dicks out for Harambe. I don't know if you ever heard that.
Yeah.
It was a campaign that was going around. I supported myself. It was very critical after the death because Harambe, he didn't really do anything wrong. You know what I'm saying? He shouldn't have napped up that kid, but that kid shouldn't have been in there. It was in his house. It's like when you go to the water, you get bit by a shark. It's like, well, that's this fucking shark's house,
Yeah, but they're going to hunt that shark and they're going to put that shark down.
America.
Yeah. These colors don't run.
No, they don't, baby. You think you're going to fucking take an American leg and get away to fucking swim another day?
Yeah.
Motherfucker, we'll put you in a pool, make you do tricks.
That's right, bro. You know, catch you, drag you into the bay.
Yeah.
Let you know what's up.
We won't even eat you because they don't taste good. Yeah, I don't know.
Jay, look, I'm telling you, my friend just texted me, said, this person has the lead in Texas and Pennsylvania. So Kamala, remember before they were saying he had the lead in PA?
Now Kamala has the lead?
Now she has the lead. I told you, like, oh,
dude, people are still getting out of work.
Yeah. Here comes Kamala. She's coming up on the left-hand side. She's coming up.
You're going to have to Google Lily Phillips 1000 for next week.
What's that, for our episode next week?
That's what Spaz says.
Huh.
I'm not Googling it now. But if I was.
Are you flexing a new phone on me?
Nah, same phone.
Oh.
Oh my God, I know about this chick.
What is it?
Do you hear about this girl who's on a mission to take 1,000 Ds in a day? She currently has a record for the most Ds taken in a day, and now she's going to up it a notch by jumping to quadruple digits.
That's disgusting. So, about due process.
What do you think? First of all,
what's her name?
I think it's Lily Phillips. It's in the chat. This is my thing about this. It's like, how do you get 1,000 dudes that have all had STD checks? And then what are we talking about? Like, what qualifies them, like, you know, the sex? Like, what are the parameters here? These guys have to finish? Like 1,000 dudes that go from start to finish? Because you know there's a lot of dudes that are going to go out there. They don't leave the house with a loaded gun. They're going to crank 3 or 4 out before they even get to her. And then they're going to get there, and this poor girl's going to have to fucking, you know, take 30 minutes of this dude pounding away at her, and then another 999 have to go after that. You know, there's going to be guys taking Viagra online, trying to you know, put on the performance of their life when she's just trying to crunch numbers.
Jesus. How does somebody, man,
we shouldn't glorify this kind of behavior.
Imagine what her dad is thinking.
Dude, imagine what her toto looks like.
Oh my God. That thing look like a boxing glove.
Dude, yeah, it probably looks like a good fucking mortadella sandwich, you know what I'm saying? Good fucking, it looks like a fire fucking good ass mortadella, you know what I'm saying? A little bit of fucking, with the cheese in the middle. I don't know, man. Who knows? It definitely doesn't. It's never gonna fucking recover from the 1,000 dudes. I'll tell you right now.
I think
there's not enough elastic in the world for that thing to bounce back. Maybe surgery could fix it. I don't know. We got so many things to worry about right now in the world. This chick's gonna do 1,000 guys. We don't know who's gonna be the next president of the free world. We don't even know if the person that does get the job is going to do the right thing. Who knows? There's so many things. There's so many unknowns.
Good Lord.
They killed the hero of a squirrel. The Republicans are using that as like a mortar. They're saying that the squirrel's like their Tony Hinchcliffe.
That's so funny.
There's immediately that story comes out. And they're like, you see, this is the fucking Democrats. They're the ones that are going into your house. They want to take your squirrels and fucking euthanize them and make you walk you to the bathroom. The second I heard that angle, I was kind of like, fuck, man, what is happening?
Once we let them take the squirrel, next they're taking your kid. They're going to drag your kid in the back, take him behind the shed. You're going to have nothing but,
they'll leave you with a golden doodle.
Yeah, that's it. Trade them out, you know. But anyway, we're going to end it right there. We're past the hour, brother.
We're past the hour. Tell everybody to vote.
Yes, everybody, make sure you vote. It's probably too late for most of you. It's 8 o'clock. Make sure that you guys vote. Make sure that if you catch anybody messing with the tamper box or tampering with the ballot box, you let them know what's up.
Yeah, see something, say something.
Yeah, facts.
That's a fucking... That's the motto. Dude, look at my quads, though.
Yeah, what's up, son? My skinny ass legs, bro.
Yeah, I have
So that's what we got, Master Numb Podcast. Thank you guys so much. Make sure you hit that thumbs up on the way out. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit the notification bell so you never miss a single episode. And if you can't watch a video version, check us out on all your favorite audio podcast listening platforms: Apple, Play Store, Google Podcasts,
Stitcher,
Podbean, all that good stuff, man. Berto, let them know what they could do if they don't find us on their favorite audio podcast platform.
Go into Discord and harass us until we place the podcast on your obscure podcast listening platform. If the polls are still open, go vote if you haven't. It's still dicks out for Harambe. That's it. That's all I got.
Oye, te hablo desde la prisión. Wilson Manyoma.